I read the first two books in the Burning trilogy, The Rage of Dragons and The Fires of Vengeance by Evan Winter. I am quite traumatized, my heart is full, and I need the third book yesterday. I originally saw The Rage of Dragons as a recommendation by Tori, and I was reminded to read it by Smitty, so thank you to the both of you. Before I get into how much I love this incomplete trilogy, please check the trigger warnings. This is a rough one. This is a story of vengeance. So, this is an African-inspired fantasy series, and in the first book we meet Tao. Tao is a high common. There is a hierarchy system in this world, and the book starts out with Tao learning alongside Jabari, who is a noble, and he is being trained by Tao's father, Aaron. Stuff hits the fan almost immediately, and his father is taken away in a set of horrible circumstances, and it sets Tao on this vicious road to vengeance. I've seen this series described as Game of Thrones meets Gladiator, and the fight scenes are epic. They are crazy, and I'm not a big fan of fight scenes. If they're not done well, I will just skim them, but I was hanging on to every word. While there are dragons in this world, they seem to be linked to an underworld type place. Like, this was giving me Stranger Things vibes with like the upside down. While you're in this realm, time works differently. So Tao has this great idea to train in the underworld to become a vicious fighter to enact his vengeance. As the book progresses, he is moving up the ranks as he becomes a more skilled fighter, waiting for the opportunity to enact his revenge. I do love The Rage of Dragons. The Fire of Vengeance just hit a tad harder. This was phenomenal. In this one, we see the continuation of Tao's journey, as well as we start to see a little bit more about the political system of this world, how the world got to be, as well as more of the lore and the mystery behind the underworld. And I think the reason that I really enjoyed The Fires of Vengeance is I appreciated Queen Ciara's perspective as well. Women in this world are considered gifted, and they can call on the power from the underworld. And in the second book, we learn more about those abilities as well as the queen. There's a scene in The Fires of Vengeance where Tao is having an epic battle that we've been waiting for, and I adored the perspective that it's from. You'll know when you see it. It's a perspective that comes out of left field, but it was so perfectly written, and I felt like, oh, I just like got what I needed and I ate it up. This isn't a cozy story by any means, but I think just really understanding what Tao is going through and empathizing with him makes you care so much about the character that I will love this series forever. I don't know when we're getting the third book, but I cannot wait. I highly, highly recommend The Rage of Dragons and The Fire of Vengeance, the Burning trilogy by Evan Winter.